welcome to Dhoon Quarry, another take of our quarry exploration. This is the winch house slash engine house. I've never been here before, I didn't even notice it last time I was exploring the quarry. I drove past it a fair few times now and didn't even notice it until one day I looked over and was like, ooh, what's that? So anyway, here we are exploring the winch house. It's quite massive in size, it stretches all the way back. This is us at the back of the building. Goes right the way onto the road there. There's about 4 different chambers. Massive bolts absolutely everywhere to hold the machinery down. What this machinery would have done is it brought the buckets from the quarry all the way across to the tram station area just at the bottom. Across the road here, it would have emptied the buckets into the trams, and the trams would have taken the quarry loads off to be sorted elsewhere. As you can see, the bolts are absolutely huge. There is another winch sort of looking house inside the quarry when I went there to have a look last time, but yeah, I didn't find this building. There is also a tunnel that runs underneath the road from the tram station, and that brings you into the other quarry on this side of the road. So there is 2 quarries, one either side of the road. Forgot which one's which. One's called the west one, and the other one's just called Dhoon Quarry. The big Dhoon Quarry is quite extensive works, and it had obviously a massive winch to take everything across by air. And then the other quarry had a little train that went under the road and offloaded at the same spot as the winches would. It was quite a tall building, as you can see. There's more bolts on top of the building, so I don't know what they were for. This is the front of the building where I climbed up to get in, to have a look inside. And you'll be able to see the chambers now as I walk through. They're quite tall, quite extensive. Would like to see what this building looked like when it was functional. Would have been quite impressive, I'd imagine. Again, this is just my thoughts and bits and bobs I've read and put together myself. Could be completely wrong. Could have been a different building completely. But with all the evidence I've gathered, I definitely think this is the winch house. So there's Jacob. Hello, Jacob. Just underneath this wall here, there's like a big wooden lintel. So I'm guessing all this mud's new. Rotting away down there. In a previous video of ours, you can see us going in the small little tunnel to try and find the passageway that runs under the road. But unfortunately, that is collapsed, and you can no longer access it. Wouldn't advise doing so anyway. The other quarry is all completely flooded as well. So there's no chance of even being able to see the tunnel from that side. So the only way you can see the tunnel is from a little tiny waterway tube. And then once you get through the end of that waterway tube, it's all collapsed anyway. Over that side to the railway line there, you can just see it. That's where they would have unloaded the big buckets from the quarry. And where we're stood now is where all the engine was. And the winch, I think. Big operation. So as I say, here is the other quarry that's all flooded, where the tunnel would have came out and the train would have ran from to go under the road and offload down at the tramway there. It says, do not enter. This is the workhouse. And just around the corner here is this little tunnel I was on about. Over there is the actual quarry. The big quarry is just in that direction. Here's a little tunnel, you climb through there and it's just collapsed. So don't go in there. And thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Happy exploring, everybody. Stay tuned.